Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Palestine. I would like to shed some lights about our experience at An-Najah National University and our experience in e-learning during the pandemic. Starting by introducing my university and then moving to explain more about our experience during the pandemics, shedding some lights on the challenges, and then moving to insights on future policies. Starting by introducing my country, Palestine. As you all know, we are living in crisis for the last 70 years. Our education has been disrupted due to that, but that did not prevent us from improving our education system and surviving through determination. So all the time, we insist that we are going to learn despite of all the circumstances and despite of all the odds. So the pandemic was a new challenge for all the world, but for us was a continuous challenge. So we have developed our own type of resilient education. COVID-19 pandemic is an additional challenge, but at the same time, we learn from the past experience how to deal with that. An-Najah National University is one of the largest universities in Palestine. It was established in 1978. We have more than 20,000 students, where 60% of them are female. We have a university hospital, a preschool, media centers, scientific centers, and the most important thing for me is our e-learning center, which was established in 2012. We have 13 faculties. We have more than 100 BA programs and 66 MA programs, in addition to 6 PhD programs. The e-learning center, as I said, was established in 2011, and our vision is to achieve a high quality of education through training our teachers, our students, in order to enhance technology into teaching and learning in a better way. I'm very proud of my team at the e-learning centers, and we have achieved a high quality of e-learning, and we got the ISO certificate for the second time now. In March 2020, we were forced to shift totally online. This is because we choose to be part of the global trend that switched to online learning to survive the education. I'm glad to say that we started blended learning before the pandemic, but shifting totally online was suddenly, but we were able to survive. There were a lot of issues and principles that we need to deal with through the pandemic while planning for our emergency education to think about. We need to think about equal opportunities. And here I mean there are a lot of students coming from poor backgrounds, and they don't have the infrastructure that they need in order to be able to enroll and to continue their learning online. So this was a big challenge for us, but at the same time something that we consider from the beginning in order to provide them with the needed infrastructure, needed computer, and needed internet access. And we were able to do that through the last year. We have developed our own model for risk management and for managing that time. I think it is, we took the decision to shift online. Then we have to deal with the shock. So I call it first aid for shock. Dealing with the shock was a big issue, but we will succeed to do it through listening to students, to faculty members, and giving them the support. So we have two things for the first aid of shock. It is listening to the voices of students and faculty members, and at the same time giving technical support, psychological support in order to move forward. Regarding digital tools, in the beginning we have to choose which digital tools to use. At the beginning, we left it for faculty member in order to choose what they are familiar with. Then, until we test many different tools and we decide to use, we have Moodle as our learning management system, and we decide to use Zoom as the virtual class. But at the same time, we need to test on students. So we have a group of students who volunteer to support us all the time and to try to test with them any tools that we have. The technical support have been in different ways, like training every day, workshops. Then we have a lot of manuals. We have a lot of videos, supporting videos. We have a lot of personal, but it's also online, one-to-one support. So then we moved from this into, we gave technical support upon request. So each faculty or each person will ask for a special issue, we can give it to him online. The most important is the formative assessment. So each time we have feedback, we build our strategies on the feedback that we get from the field, and then we move forward into future reform. During the pandemic, there were a lot of cooperation and collaboration between faculty members, the management, the leadership in the university, and the students and the society, and also other institutions in the community. We have developed our skills for conflict resolution, since there were in the beginning a lot of chaos and there is a lot of things to be resolved. So it was a difficult time, but at the same time, it was a very important learning opportunity for all of us. I'm proud of the team of champions in the e-learning center. We were a family that works very hard for long hours without stopping in order to be able to meet the needs of our faculty and of our students. And it was like 20 hours per day in the beginning, and then now it is more organized and less stress. I'm very proud of the community in Palestine. We have a high rate of solidarity and resilience, and we got it from our previous experience through a long years of occupation. This is the only good thing about the occupation, that we have our own, we are very strong, and we have developed our own resilient strategies. The change all the time has resistance, as everywhere. So dealing with resistance, be patient on our faculty members, listening to their needs, be patient with the rejection from students, and dealing with that on a daily basis, responding to their, compliments all the day, responding to their questions, answering it. This was a big issue. The most important thing is the disadvantaged students. And here I mean two different categories. The category of students that are coming from poor backgrounds, and the category of students who are disabled students, and they need special support in order to be able to continue their education. Being aware about those make it easier for us to respond to their needs. The time was a challenging issue that we need to deal with, since time is running and we need to resolve the whole issue of e-learning. I'm sorry to say that I'm leading the online learning, but still online learning sometimes have a negative impact, which is related to social isolation and techno-stress. So this was a problem that we have faced all the time, how not to have a negative impact on our psychology, on not to suffer from techno-stress all the time, which we did. And many of our faculty members really have a techno-stress, but we were able to conduct some workshops in order to improve their skills for resilience and to cope with the techno-stress that they suffer in. The most important principle while transforming online was to be very flexible. Why do we need to be very flexible? This is very important because we have many faculty members that some differ with their capabilities in order to move online. Some of them are expert in using digital equipment, while others where they don't have the experience. So in order to be able to meet their needs, we were very flexible in offering different types of training, capacity building, technical support in order to meet their needs. As everywhere, it was the infrastructure shortage. In Palestine, there is a problem in the technology sector due to the occupation. So there is a lack of infrastructure in all families. There is a low internet capabilities. There is a lot of poor, unemployment rates, which reflect on the availability of computers and smartphones for our teachers and for our students, for our families. The issue of exams was a very big challenge in the beginning, but now it has been resolved. A lot of faculty members who have a long experience of teaching but at the same time they lack technical skills, and these were the old generation. So we need to work with them as one-to-one, not only to ask them to participate in the training workshop that we conduct every day, but we need to offer them one-to-one support. Or sometimes, which is I'm proud of, we need to train one of their families, like their daughter, their son, or their grandchildren, in order to offer them the support that they need. It was, and still, there was a huge load of work, since, as you all know, e-learning needs a lot of hours for preparation, for designing the course, for the technical support, for preparing and developing the question banks, and so on. So this was a big issue that we need to get used to, not only for the e-learning center, but also for the university, for the faculty member. So we need to switch all the mechanism of the work in order to meet the new needs. We were very open to the society, so we share our resources with the whole community that we have developed through the last 10 years in order to meet our social responsibility and academic responsibility with others. The most important challenge was the safety and the privacy of our students, our faculty members, and at the same time our families, since, as you all know, being online means that you are offering education not only for your students, but also for their families, for their friends, since you are online and they can all have access to that. We have social interaction with the students, with the faculty members, with the families. Everything was open, which gave us the opportunity to improve, to talk together, and to improve our communication channels between all stakeholders. We have a lot of open resources that we share with our students, we share with the community, we share with our other universities, and at the same time we use open resources from other universities in order to improve the quality of education. Through the last experience, I think that there are a lot of opportunities and there were a lot of challenges. The good thing was that we have developed a leadership strategy in order to move online. We have developed there was a learning opportunity for all of us during the pandemic. The whole system at the university and in Palestine, they were all learning together. Through training, through online workshops, through a lot of international seminars that have been conducted, and we were participating in it. There was, in the beginning, it was very challenging, but then there was a creative practices. So each month we hold a workshop to exchange practices. So faculty members, they learn from each other, they develop their own ways, and share it with their colleagues. So learning from others was a great opportunity for all of us. One of the main challenges is to achieve digital equity, since it is very important that, students are different, faculty members are different, and they have different skills, different knowledge, so we need to be aware of that and meet their needs in order to achieve a quality of education, not only to sustain education, but also to achieve a high quality of education. I can say that in the beginning of March 2020, it was like a whole chaos, and I can guarantee that now we are working on a sustainable environment, and we are developing our practices, and we are achieving a high quality of education. And this were coming after listening more to student voices. We were having a hotline every month to listen to the student voices, get their feedback, trying to respond to their needs. This is as online, but still, but not the only way. We also have, like in the beginning, we have like hundreds of emails every day. Now we have hundreds of emails every month. So it is becoming more sustained. I'm very proud of our experience in providing distance maintenance support, especially when there was the whole closure around, and some of our faculty or students, they have a problem with their computers or smartphones, and we were able to give this support for them. We developed a strategy of working through research. What I mean by that all the time we conduct policy research. So every week we send surveys, questionnaires to all our faculty members, to all our students. We get their feedback, we analyze the data. Depending on these data, we develop our strategies for next week. And this enables us to shorten the time of suffering from the resistance and move directly towards improving the quality of education. We all the time were working while looking at the future. So we consider our experience in the past in e-learning, we develop it to present it on the present, and then we were thinking what is going to be in the future after the pandemic. So all the time we need to think about tomorrow in order to be able to adapt our present to meet the needs of the students of tomorrow. I'm glad to say that our university now, since we are in the end of the pandemic, hopefully we are moving to our blended learning as a policy, not only to enrich the education, but it's part of the learning and teaching process. We have a lot of challenges, as I said before, but we have overlapped these challenges. The most important thing that we need to learn more about is how to conduct practical courses online, how to deal. But now with the VR strategies and VR lab that we have, we are going to be able to conduct practical courses online. Regarding the future of education, I think I can summarize that in a few ideas, that there will be a shift in the needs of the labor market, and technology will be the main factor that affecting education and labor market. I think our education system needs to be ready for that, and in order to be ready, we need to revisit our programs. But there is future concerns for digital transformation that we need to care while we are designing our programs, that we need to be aware about integrity and ethics, and we need to think about social justice between different colleagues and students. We need to think deeply about the emotional well-being. A lot of us have suffered from techno-stress. Our students have suffered from that, so we need to give more attention to that. We need to develop our own policies, and we have to think about justice and people in marginalized areas and special needs. We need to think about budgets and educational funds, since the future of education need more resources in order to meet the new shift. I would like to end by thank you all for this opportunity, and I would like to call for a global collaboration in order to revisit our education and try to offer together a better quality of education for our students. Thank you very much.